Hey, what's going on here in Reno with my buddy Oscar Ovies, who is a comedian from here.
That is true.
From here.
That's right.
And we're hanging out in your village.
My hometown, my stomping grounds.
Your stomping grounds,
as it were.
As everybody,
if I may.
As everybody hackily says.
Yes.
So, I'm having my requisite whiskey. Oscar's doing water.
I grabbed the water.
Normally you're like a Roman Coke guy.
I like me some Jack and Coke.
Jack and Coke. I knew it was something in Coke.
Yeah, I try to not. I'm trying to limit my soda intake. I was gonna grab an Angry Orchard real quick, but I don't know if that's a little femme.
You could, you know what? Whatever you want to drink is whatever you want to drink.
I catch a lot of nonsense for drinking the Angry Orchard.
So you know what kills me when somebody wants to buy a shot.
Yes.
And somebody goes, "Hey, we're doing shots of Jaeger or Fireball or whatever." I'm like, I hate Jaeger. I hate Fireball. I'm like, you're gonna buy somebody a shot. Let them drink whatever they want.
Right.
If you're like, "Hey, I want a Jack and Coke," I'm gonna have a Jack and Coke.
Sure.
And get off my back.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I'm going to buy you a hooker, and all of a sudden I bring you some creepy-looking Asian chick with one leg, and you're like, I'm not into Asian chicks with one leg. So then why would you force me to have sex with her?
I mean, I remember that time that you bought me a hooker. It was a very nice one.
It was because I care.
I mean, why not? I mean, why not give her? I mean, she was really impressed by what she had.
And why wouldn't she be?
Exactly. I just get a lot. I mean, it's like I'll drink Angry Orchard. It's like, well, what beer are you drinking? I'm not a big beer guy, so they'll be like, Angry Orchard, and they give me a lot of shit. Although now it seems like Angry Orchard has been replaced by that White Claw as kind of
that hard seltzer or whatever it is.
Where it's like Zima reborn.
Yes.
It's like Zima
reboot. In a different package.
Yeah, it's so that's, I think, White Claw. I'm glad I don't drink that because I think that comes with a date rape kit. If I'm not mistaken. You get your
I
White
didn't
Claw
see that on the end cap at the convienance store. I need to pick closer attention.
You have to turn it in. I got my White.
And then you get
here you go.
once you have 5 UPC codes. Send it, and then you get the. Okay, I didn't know
with
that.
With proof of purchase, the White Claw date rape kit.
You are a comedian, hilarious, but you're also a monster comic book freak.
I'm a big comic book nerd. Yeah.
Comic book nerd.
Yes.
You were visibly upset. You're wearing a Batman shirt right now,
and I have a Batman watch as well.
You were visibly upset when the new Batman was listed as Robert Pattinson.
Look, man, here's
from
Twilight. Yeah. Here's the thing.
Why? Why are we so mad?
Here's the thing, because I'm also a big movie nerd too, just nerd in general. But I'm also a big movie nerd as well. So here's the thing, Robert Pattinson is a good actor. He's a great actor. He has spent his entire movie life post Twilight trying to erase Twilight from people's memories because clearly he just did it for a paycheck. I just don't see him physically, whatever, as like a tough guy.
So what a great way to shed the vampire image than to become a bat.
Yeah, it only took him 10 years. What the slowest vampire ever. But it's just, look, from an acting standpoint, I'm sure he'll be fine. The first thing the dude needs to do is put on about 35 pounds of muscle. That's number one.
So who's your favorite Batman?
I mean,
everything.
If we're talking of everything, then we're talking. To me, the guy who voiced Batman on the animated series from the '90s is the quintessential Batman. Like when I read something Batman, that's the voice I hear in my head. Is an actor named Kevin Conroy. If we're talking from the movies, it's probably Ben Affleck. Like physically, just physically, and the way and what sucks is we'll never get a chance to see what he really could have done in his own movie because people turned on him because everybody's anti-Ben Affleck. Christian Bale was awesome, but he kind of got into some weird stuff by the third movie. But he was still great. But Ben Affleck looks like they literally, they drew him out of they pulled him out of the comics. So
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm old school.
Yeah.
Adam West.
Adam West was a great Batman.
The original Batman.
Absolutely. He was a great Batman. And what's crazy is they're doing on a TV show, not to get too nerdy, but right now they're doing on the CW, they have a series of DC Comics TV shows, and they'll do crossovers all the time. And they're doing a crossover event where they're bringing in all these old actors who used to play comic book heroes to play old versions as they all cross. It's a big time travel event thing. And Burt Ward is coming back to play Robin.
Wow.
In this thing, and they were saying it's unfortunate that Adam West died with it because they would have used it as an opportunity to bring him back as one more time.
Well, now, has this, this is something you're passionate about as far as your comic books and stuff like that. Has this ever led to you getting asked?
I knew that's going.
Asking for a friend.
Absolutely. Look, Yes, man. Nerd. I hesitate to call it nerd culture because everything now is a culture.
Everyone's into their own thing.
Sure. And there was a time where I was developing. It sounds more important than it was, but developing like a web series here in town, here in Reno, and it was going to be called 50 Shades of Nerd. And the idea behind it was you can be nerdy about anything. You can be a politics nerd, a music nerd, a sports nerd,
right.
a comics nerd. As long as you're passionate about something, that's what makes you a nerd. So to call it like nerd culture or geek culture, to me that's like it's stupid labeling stuff. Like, first of all, I used to go to conventions on the regular, but...
And women go to these things. I know that they go to Comic-Con. I know.
Too.
And then they're wearing in the little elastic outfits and
dressed
everything.
As Poison Ivy and Cat. Oh my god! I will readily admit right here on the web that I have a Harley Quinn fetish. If I see a girl every Halloween, it's like I'm counting the Harley Quinns. It's just fun. Now. That's not like in a weird way. It's just it's hot. I don't know what it is. So yeah, it's happening. I mean, yeah, if you find someone who has like similar interests, and if those interests are considered kind of taboo, which nowadays that's not really the case. But if you can find someone like you're a Batman nerd, I'm a Batman nerd. Oh my god, like boom,
Let's
connect over.
Let's get in.
Atomic batteries to power.
Take off your utility belt. And let's light this candle.
Yeah, holy three-way Batman.
Holy pregnancy kit.
Yeah.
And awkward.
Holy morning after pill. Holy date rape kit, Batman.
Now you're also a fan of wrestling.
I am. I'm a big fan. Yeah. This whole thing is making sure that I never get asked ever again.
No. Let me tell you something. This is targeting your demographic.
Yes.
So we'll hashtag it with all these appropriate things, and you're going to be flooded with women jonesing to get on this.
Yep. This is a big big train.
Now, if you were to be any wrestler as we wrap up this conversation,
yes.
What wrestler would you have loved to have been in his prime?
Oh my God! I mean, you got to go with Ric Flair, because Ric Flair in his prime in the '80s, that dude was a legit like rock star. Like that dude traveled. He was he lived the gimmick. The gimmick was, I'm the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and I wear, $1,000 shoes, and I got the finest suits, and I travel in jets. And back in the 70s and the 80s, before people really knew it was a show, you had to live that gimmick. So he lived that lifestyle. He traveled around on Lear jets. He rode around limousines. He had the money. He had the women. He was partying. He's traveling from city to city, wrestling 3 times a night, putting on the best shows in the world, and doing it. There's a lot of parallels in the pro wrestling lifestyle, especially back in the 80s, and stand-up comedy, like road life and stuff like that. There's a lot of that stuff.
Now, would you ever wrestle somebody like at a truck stop?
I mean, that goes back to the hooker that you bought me.
Would you wrestle a truck driver naked for gas money?
Where am I? And how quickly do I have to be at my next destination?
The brilliancy of this man is that he has standards, but they fluctuate.
Not too many standards. Yeah,
Oscar Ovies, find him online, follow him. Hilarious comedian in Vegas now, out of Reno. You see him in Vegas, Reno all the time. He travels. See him, he's amazing.
I'm with him a lot.
Ric Flair.
Woo!
The new Batman, Oscar.
Goddamn, what a nerd.
I'm not lying.
I'd be down for that. That's, yeah. Sure.